I give you honor, I give you praise, I give you everything that you deserve. I give you honor, I give you praise, I give you everything that you deserve. I give you everything, I give you everything, I give you everything, I give you everything, everything. I give you me with all my heart and soul, with all my strength and with all my mind. Give us day by day my daily bread. I will obey because your word is true. Oh, oh, Holy, Holy Spirit, Spirit, I call on you, fill me up inside, come and take over me, yeah. Open up my eyes to see, for yours be the glory, oh yeah, what a wonderful story, oh yeah, you're so glorious, you're merciful, you're marvelous. That's why I give you honor, give you honor. I give you praise, give you praise. I give you everything that you deserve, that you deserve. I give you honor, give you honor. I give you praise, give you praise. I give you everything that you deserve, that you deserve. I give you everything, everything, everything. 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 I give you honor, I give you praise, I give you every single thing that you deserve. I give you honor, I give you praise, I give you every single thing that you deserve. I give you honor, I give you praise, I give you every single thing, every single thing that you deserve. Honor, I give you praise, I give you every single thing that you deserve. I give you honor, I give you praise, I give you every single thing that you deserve. Every single thing that you deserve. I give you praise, I give you every single thing that you deserve. I wanna know you are. I wanna know you are. I wanna know you are. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know, get close to you. I wanna know that you're the creator, King of kings. Wanna know, everlasting. Wanna know you, you're excellent. Wanna know your greatness is unsearchable. Oh, I wanna know God, what is righteous. Wanna know the name above all names. Wanna know, so I will exalt Him. Know you. You're Alpha and Omega. Yeah, you are mighty. The glory and the honor, it belongs to you. The beginning and the end. Yeah, you are mighty. The glory and the honor, it belongs to you. I wanna know 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 you. Wanna know you. I wanna know you. Wanna know you. Wanna know you. Wanna know you. Wanna know you.
Shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. I see family in the chat. I want to say Shabbat shalom to everyone that's listening. And I want to give a special shout out, Shabbat shalom, to my beloved family, my husband, my children who are listening to this lesson, as well as my CUC family. I see the beloved brother K. Judah in the chat. I also see the beloved brother Last Seconds, aka Ariel. Shabbat shalom and much love to everyone who's watching live and who will watch the playback. We are here. I call it a children's Sabbath lesson, but honestly, y'all, I'll be learning from the children's lessons. So let's jump right in and get started, and let's seek Yah's way. I'm really excited to bring this lesson today, but before I get started, I want to do a prayer because I don't like to start or really say too much of anything without making sure that the Most High and Yeshua are at the center, which is why I love worship. I love worship music that helps to bring them in and keep them in the center of everything that we're doing. So children, as you're listening, I want you to always remember that. Also, it is very important to pray and give honor and reverence and all due respect to the Most High who created all things. So right now, let's just take a moment to do that. Abba Yah, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your beautiful Sabbath that you have created for your people, Israel, which we all are a part of. And we are learning about our heritage and the covenant that you made with our forefathers. We're so thankful. And we ask that you will forgive us of any sins that we have committed, Lord, the sins of our forefathers. We want to come before you with clean hands that can only be brought through your precious Son, Yeshua. So Most High Yah, we thank you for giving us the opportunity and the moment to just learn more and more about you. In your Son, Yeshua's name, we thank you. Amen. Hallelujah. All right, let's get started, y'all. So, seek God's way. And the name of today's lesson is Shh. Did someone call my name? I wonder if anyone has an idea of what they think this story may be about. But for all of my children, we all are children of the Most High, but all of my children who are listening and my adults, I want you to just try to quiet yourself. I know we have a lot of distractions in life, but let's really, really focus in, Israel, and try to quiet ourselves right now, because it's in that position of quieting and humbling that you can zone in and really hear the Most High. So, the title of today's lesson, once again, Shalom to my sisters. I see my sister A. Diamond. Shabbat Shalom to you. I see my sister Amina Coleman. Shabbat Shalom, family. Thank you guys for joining. The title of our lesson is Shh. Did someone call my name? So, when we think about somebody calling your name, let's talk about communication for a moment. We talk to each other all the time. What are some ways that we communicate? We chop it up with our friends in person. We talk to each other on the phone. Of course, we text. Nowadays, we do virtual meetings. I do those all the time. Some people even talk with something that's called an AAC, or an alternative augmented communication device. We write, and some people even use sign language. So, in our world, we are constantly communicating with one another. I want you guys to think, did I leave something out? Are there other ways that we communicate? And if I did, feel free to put it in the chat. Or children, if you watch this later, you can put it in the chat. You can email us of different ideas and different ways that we communicate. Check this out. The world even communicates. Let's think about this. Birds chirp, the wind blows, police sirens, they yell, they roar, basically. Horns honk, clocks, alarms, they go off. So even things around us that are not human, even they communicate. I wonder where they got that from. Because the Bible says in Psalm 66, verse 4, that all the earth shall worship thee, talking about the Most High, and shall sing unto thee. They shall sing to thy name, Selah. So whether people realize it or not, when the birds are chirping, they are singing praises to the Most High Yah. Communication is constantly going on all around us. So our communication should always be singing his high praises. We have to watch how we communicate. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Watching our communication, and also making sure that with everything going on around us, we are not blocking out the voice of the Most High. This is very important. It's very important for children to learn this. The younger that they learn it, the more strong they will be as they grow up. We should always be listening for the voice of the Most High. Now, this can be very interesting because some people don't know how to discern his voice. Let's dive deeper so we can see if we can figure this out. With so many distractions, how can we be sure that we're hearing the Most High's voice? I want you guys to think about that. You have your iPad, your cell phone, your tablet, your computer, you're texting your friends, you're watching TV, you're going to the movies. So many distractions. You're playing games. So many distractions. How can we hear the Most High's voice with all of that? Let's go to our perfect example, our Messiah, Yeshua, Yahushua, Jesus Christ. Let's see what he did when he really, really wanted to hear the voice of the Most High. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 6 and verse 6, and it reads, "But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward openly." I know children and us grown people, we have seen a lot of bad examples. I'm just going to call it bad examples of people praying. Why is Seek Yah's Way calling it a bad example? I'll tell you. When we were in the church, we saw people standing up and having lights on them, lots of attention, and praying loud, sweating, maybe even dancing, singing, getting people clapping for them, basically putting on a show with their prayers. Is that what Yeshua told us to do? No. Let's really, really pick apart what he said. He said, when you pray, enter into your closet. What does that mean? It means people don't have to see you all the time. It doesn't literally mean you have to go in your closet, because what if you're at school? Or what if you're at the store? But what it means is you don't have to be in open show. You don't have to be in an open show when you pray. And it even says, and when thou hast shut thy door. So it means you're really in a private place. You see that? Enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to the Father. This is a very precious and important time that we are to have that is private with the Most High Yah. This means we have to really strive to block out all of the distractions of life. These pictures are just depicting a few of them. Cell phones, computers, TV, just busy, busy, busy. Shopping. Lives are busy, and we get that. But we have to learn to put aside time to really hear from the Most High Yah. That's what I love about the Sabbath day. Do you love the Sabbath day? Okay. 1 Kings chapter 19. This is Elijah. Verses 11 through 13, they tell us that the Most High is not in the loudness and the busyness of the world. Where is he then if he's not in all of that? And he is in that because he created everything. But if you want to hear from him, he is in the still small voice. Let me read this for you guys. So 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 11. And he said, go forth and stand upon the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains and brake in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, listen, a still small voice. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entering in a cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him and said, What dost thou here, Elijah? That was the Most High speaking to Elijah, not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in the still small voice. Let's continue. So, can you name some people in the Bible who heard the Most High's voice? Yeshua, of course. Of course. Moses. Elijah, we just read about him. Joshua. Adam and Eve. Abraham, sure did. David, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, all the prophets. That's why I just said and more. Did I miss someone? If you can think of someone else, feel free to put them in the chat. This is an interactive Sabbath lesson, so please put them in the chat. Do you know of a child in the Bible who heard Yah's voice? That's exciting to hear his voice as a child. I wonder if you guys can think of a child that heard Yah's voice. You can put it in the chat if you know the answer. 1 Samuel 3 tells us all about Samuel. Samuel was that child who heard the voice of the Most High. The Most High spoke to him when he was just a little child, like many of you listening. Let's read about this in 1 Samuel chapter 3, verses 1 through 11. Listen to this, guys. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And it came to pass at that time, when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. And ere the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep, that the Lord called Samuel and answered. And he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I called not, lie down again. And he went and he lay down again. And the Lord called yet again Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here I am, for thou didst calleth me. And he answered, I called not, my son, lay down again. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again. How many times is this? Children, you can hold up your fingers to tell me how many times. You can put it in the chat. Tell your mom and daddy if you're listening with them. How many times is this? That's right, the third time. And he arose and went to Eli and said, Here I am, thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and he lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood and called as at the other time, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, For thy Lord, speak, for thy servant heareth. And the Lord said to Samuel, behold. So the Lord starts speaking to him. I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of every one that heareth shall tingle. Wow. Samuel was just a little boy, but the Most High wanted to speak to him. Notice, Eli had to give Samuel special instructions to hear from the Most High Yah. Verse 9 of 1 Samuel chapter 3, it says, go lie down. So see, when you're lying down, it's similar to you being in your closet. Remember we talked about that Yeshua told us to do that. When you're lying down, you're quiet. And you really shouldn't have any distractions. Although I know a lot of people lie down with their cell phones, with their iPads, with the TV on. But if you would just lie down without those distractions, what did Eli say? He said, and it shall be, if he called thee. So when you lie down and you quiet yourself, the Most High Yah just might call you. Who wants the Most High Yah to speak to them? I know I do. I love it when he speaks to me. And he speaks to us in so many ways, in his word, through prayer, sometimes directly, like he did with Samuel. This is why we must be aware of distractions and ensure that we are having quality time to spend with Yah and his word. There are so many devices that are seeking to keep us from hearing his voice. Woo. 2 Corinthians 2:11 reminds us, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And guys, one of our beloved brothers in the truth produced an excellent video about the devices that are currently working and a device that is very, very, very concerning that is on the horizon. That means it's coming. So parents, if you're watching, I really, really hope that you pay attention to this for your children's sake, because this is in the works. Let's watch the video from our beloved brother, Truth Unedited. I love his videos, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to include this in my lesson because the brother broke it down. Let's watch.
The grid, a digital frontier. I tried to picture clusters of information as they move through the computer. What did they look like? Ships, motorcycles? Were the circuits like freeways? I kept dreaming of a world I thought I'd never see. And then, one day...
You got in.
That's right, man. I got in. And the world was more beautiful than I ever dreamed. And also more dangerous than I ever imagined. Off in bed now. Now, I met a brave warrior.
Tron.
Bum, 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 Tron.
He fights for the users.
He sure does. Oh man, he showed me things that no one had ever imagined. There are these dish battles fought in spectacular arenas and cycles that raced on ribbons of light. So radical. And together,
You built the grid.
we built a new grid for programs and users. Now, I couldn't be in there all the time, so I created a program in my own image that could think like you and me. And I called him Clue.
Codified likeness utility.
That's right. And Clue, Tron, and I, we built a system where all information was free and open. This world is truly out of its mind. Just as you think you have a handle on what is going on, and you feel you have a solid grasp on what is being planned in this world, these people then introduce new agendas. The timing of my awareness and grasp on this subject is something that is not coincidental at all. A day before Facebook's major announcement, while I was engaging in research on another subject, I was introduced to this overall agenda. I would hear about the metaverse here and there and just ignore it. To me, it just sounded like another one of their distractions to get me off of my game. But as I began to look into this for myself, I realized just how wrong I actually was. And quite frankly, I was older than I thought myself to be. To be very honest, this whole agenda really aged me because as I was learning it, I kept saying the same phrase. And when I started explaining it to my wife, she said the same thing as well. I don't get it. Honestly, I didn't actually get how this all was going to be attractive to people and why people would choose this. But I realized that the younger generation was being conditioned for this agenda since they were very young. And the truth is that my generation has been as well. After I realized how big this agenda was, I instantly started to dig in to gain understanding. And as I was reading and learning, I would be reminded of all the small influences that were shown to me over my lifespan of 40 years or so that have been conditioning me for this agenda. Now, I am in no way an expert on this agenda, but I do have a big enough grasp on it that I can communicate what it is all about from an alternative perspective than the hundreds to thousands of cheerleaders that are cheering on this new world that is being created right before us. This agenda must be understood for multiple reasons. For those of you watching that have young children or even raising young adults, if you care about them, it's imperative that you understand this agenda as well. The world is changing fast. In the past, in many of my videos, I have always stated that one of the biggest agendas in this world is about creating a new world order. But to my surprise, the agenda is not only about creating a new world order, but along with it, a completely new world altogether. It's time to understand this agenda. It's time to understand the metaverse. Let's begin. So this is one of those discussions that everyone needs to really pay attention to and learn. They are slowly planning on introducing us into a new digital world that they are creating. The stuff that looked like science fiction that they spoke about in movies is really a reality that they want us to be a part of. And like everything else that they do, they are not preparing the masses by proper notification and education, but they are not hiding it either. They have put the information out there for us. And like with everything else, it is up for us as individuals to do our own due diligence to understand and prepare. They introduced this whole thing under a backdrop of problems at Facebook with the whistleblower distraction and a whole attack on one of the most powerful tech companies in the world. They made the public believe that the announcement at Facebook was simply about them trying to save their brand from the bad engineered press they were receiving. Because if Facebook made this change without the backdrop of this whistleblower and being bad for children nonsense, as if these people really care, then more people would be asking questions. But what we have here is that one of the most powerful tech companies in the world that has 2.9 billion active users around the world, a company that knows more about each individual in the world than they ever should, is now changing their focus from social media to the metaverse. And the majority of the masses don't even question what is going on and what the metaverse is because of the distraction that was created for them a little beforehand. It was a perfect smokescreen. But for me, it's not something that can be ignored. And it also goes back into the overall picture and agenda I have been speaking on within this channel. So what is the metaverse? Let me cover that first.
The next platform and medium will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. And we call this the metaverse. And you're going to be able to do almost anything you can imagine. Get together with friends and family, work, learn, play, shop, create, as well as entirely new categories that don't really fit how we think about computers or phones today.
Well, maybe let me cover how I got here first. I was doing some research on NFTs because I heard how Tom Brady was making his football an NFT.
There was a lot of negotiations trying to get that. We got it back, so I got it back. Yeah. There was a lot of negotiation in order to get the ball back.
Is the ball in Canton, or have you made it into an NFT? Talk about what the ball is.
It's shortly an NFT. You can autograph.io. You go there to bid on it. There's a lot of great things, auction items, memorabilia.
I couldn't understand what was happening because from what I understood, Tom Brady was going to be keeping the football.
Get it back, but I don't keep too many. I don't actually keep too many things. So, in that circumstance, I just felt like that might be a good one to keep.
But through the NFT, he was going to sell it digitally, so someone anywhere else in the world could own the digital rights to it. That made no sense to me. I couldn't understand why someone would want to own something digitally they never would actually touch physically, but spend thousands to even millions of digital dollars for it. Again, I feel like I was being aged out. So I had to dig deeper. And from that digging, I stumbled into the metaverse. And right after I got a small foundation on it, then Mark Zuckerberg did his keynote and made the announcement about the name change and gave a massive amount of details along with it. I will be using clips from the keynote to cover details he spoke on.
Rather than just focusing on this year's products like a normal keynote, we're going to talk about the future. So let's start by exploring what different kinds of metaverse experiences could feel like, starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people. Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually. It has things that are only possible virtually. And it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear. All right, perfect.
Okay, so again, what is the metaverse? Very simply, it's a new digital universe, a digital world. It's the next era of the internet, which is projected to deliver a digital environment that is similar to real life. It's a whole new world that people around the world will be plugged into. The metaverse will exist in parallel to reality, allowing people to work, open businesses, socialize, communicate, and interact with one another in a fully immersive system of virtual destinations. Right now, all of us look at the internet through our phones, computers, and other devices. What the metaverse will do is move us into the internet. It is actually likened to living in the internet. Have you ever seen the movie Tron? That's what it's about. What you may want to say is, yeah, this is just virtual reality. There's no way people can live in the internet like in the movie Tron. But you need to gain understanding. It's very deep. It's much deeper than just virtual reality. You see, virtual reality headsets and hardware like that are just tools that assist people in plugging in. But when you add in the other pieces into place, like blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, 5G internet, remote work, gaming, and online social activities, all these pieces will meet at one singular point to create a virtual universe in the form of what we will call the metaverse. People will live in an artificial, augmented reality.
Artists going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art? That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it. This is stunning.
That is something.
It's awesome.
Oh, I love the movement.
Wait, it's disappeared.
This is amazing.
Hold on. I'll tip the artist and they'll extend it.
Wow.
If you guys like it here, I have another room that you're going to love. Check out this forest room.
Huh, let's see it.
Koi fish that fly? That's new.
This is wild. Hey, one sec, pause. It's Priscilla.
Hey, you have to see this. Beast is going crazy.
Oh, I love that guy. We've got to show that to the kids. Can you also send that to my dad?
I'll message him.
All right, see you at home. This place is great, Boz, but there's something I got to get back to. All right.
People will live inside the internet.
That's it, Mark. I'm moving to the metaverse.
It will be merging the physical world with the digital.
And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms in augmented reality too. First, we're building tools that creators can use to place digital objects into the physical world and let people interact with them.
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere anymore. But then how do we kind of continue to use StreamYard is pretty much every show we have has a remote guest in. So we bring our remote guests through StreamYard. We have virtual events still with all of our season ticket holders and our VIP clients. All of that is going to be produced through StreamYard. And we have podcasts, which have guests from any location will come through via StreamYard. So for us, I mean, I have a feeling this is why we're on a stream like this with you guys for StreamYard Business, but we are extremely happy with everything we've been able to do with StreamYard.
Expecting someone else? It's the holidays, and no matter how you jingle, we've got your jam.
The grand vision of the metaverse is to provide a parallel digital universe connected to our physical world through multiple digital technologies. This parallel virtual environment and the bringing together of the online and offline worlds will allow the user to experience and communicate in the digital world through avatars, which will be the user's chosen persona. And it will feature many elements from physical reality, including buildings, work, and leisure locations, and other different landscapes. One big thing that is happening right now currently is that people are buying digital plots of land in the metaverse. They are buying digital real estate right now. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
There is a building boom breaking out, but it's not happening in your backyard. It is happening in a fake world called the metaverse. The virtual real estate market is on fire right now, and our next guest says there is real money to be made in this fake land grab.
What's unique about the metaverse today is that virtual worlds are being designed specifically for adults, where they can live inside these virtual worlds and carry out their life.
Websites like Rentable are literally a leasing agency for virtual real estate. Like, all you really have to do is just browse and choose the property that's within your monthly budget. Make sure the length of the lease is what you need and the location is good. And also there's a security deposit, just like in the real world, where if you're late on paying the rent for the following month, then you lose that deposit. And then soon as you pay for your first month's rent, the land is yours to do whatever you want with, right?
The ultimate goal of the metaverse is to look and feel like physical reality, allowing your avatar to move around freely, interact with others, and access information just like in the real world. The metaverse aims to connect with reality by designing a large-scale virtual reality setting where anyone can have a persistent presence as an extension of their physical self or company. The metaverse could also be a merger of all realities, filled with artificial intelligent entities, making it possible for people and other beings to communicate and interact in shared environments. An example of this is like what they showed in that movie, Free Guy. There are so many different purposes that the metaverse will take care of. Let me sum this all up for you. The elite of this world, who control a majority of the world's wealth. You see, in 2019, the Oxfam report showed that the world's richest people own 50% of the world's wealth. In their report done in 2020, they showed that the world's richest 1% have more than twice as much wealth as 6.9 billion people. And the wealth gap has grown even more larger since the pandemic. These people have gained complete control over the world and its resources. They own the land, the real estate, the businesses, our social entertainment, pretty much our complete way of life. And being that they now have a complete handle on all these things, and also being that there is no way to bridge a union between the rich and the rich will stay rich and the poor will stay poor, they have created an alternate universe that allows the poor to live in a digital reality where they can escape the true reality of this world.
prison for your mind.
A place where they can use their digital money or cryptocurrency tokens to buy and sell in a digital universe. This will make the world a lot smaller and easier to control. While the rich will stay rich and own all the actual physical assets, the real stuff, the poor will try to build something for themselves online in a new digital world. They literally have created the Matrix. For me, I just couldn't understand how people could actually accept something like this. But apparently, the youth have been conditioned for this for a long time, which made me go back and think on a situation I had one summer a decade ago with my now adult son. One summer, he asked if he can play this game called Roblox on his computer. When he showed me, it looked harmless compared to the games he could have been asking me to play, so I let him play. And day by day, I saw that he would stay on the computer longer and longer. He wouldn't go outside to play basketball even. He would just play this game. And at some point, I got tired of it and took the game away from him and told him I wasn't going to let him live in a virtual world. Because to me, that's what it looked like he was doing. And we canceled it. That was 8 to 10 years ago, I believe. But I remember it clear as day. And what I was protecting him from then has evolved into something even more prevalent and dangerous today.
Gaming is how a lot of people are going to step into the metaverse for the first time.
So the first thing I want to do is give a warning to all parents of children. These virtual reality games are not harmless. And though by taking a stand against them, you may be removing their world from them, you will be doing them ultimate good. These games have them living in a virtual alternate reality that is growing by the day, and intends for their minds to be attached to a world not created by our Father in heaven, our true creator. All the games from Roblox to Fortnite to Grand Theft Auto, which your children shouldn't be playing anyway, Rec Room, and anything like that, are introducing and conditioning your child to live in an alternate reality. The metaverse aims to be a central hub for all of these games and more, and will allow them to teleport and go between games. They have been conditioned to care deeply about their avatars because this is what represents them online. They buy them clothing and make sure they look good. This is absolutely crazy, but absolutely true. This young generation actually cares more about how their avatars look online more than how they care about how they look physically in the real world. They have been conditioned to care more about the metaverse than our true physical world. Last year, a rapper named Travis Scott did a virtual concert on Fortnite where 27 million users attended. 27 million. For context, last year's NBA playoffs averaged 4.2 million viewers, and Game 6 of the finals brought in 12.5 million viewers. This concert doubled that. So you can see this is real influence, and it comes from all around the world. They attended a concert while in their homes, and possibly many of your living rooms or in their bedrooms in your homes. This is the metaverse, and they are already in it. They are even buying Gucci bags for their avatars. Gucci bags for online characters.
All right, now you got to put it on and we got to see how it looks. Okay. You got to.
Okay, y'all. When I saw this,
Real life Gucci bag in a robe.
I'm sorry. When I saw this, I was just done. I was done that this is where we are as a society. And I want to be honest and admit that I know what Roblox is. Why? Because my children asked to play Roblox. It's very popular. So it surprised me that the brother said his child got into it 10 years ago. I'm like, really? It's still popular now amongst the children. So we have some definite prayer and work to do, family. I just wanted to let you see that. Please, if you are not subscribed to the brother Truth Unedited, I recommend his channel. I enjoy it. I think it's very informative, and this is just a good video to watch from beginning to end. It's about 35 minutes long, and I don't want to just use all the time to play the whole thing, but I played about 15 minutes of it because it's just full of information and it's good for us to stay informed so that we can protect our children and give them wisdom. All right. So, children, I want you to think about ways. I know we just watched a video with a lot of distractions, a lot of things that create challenges for us as we are trying our best to seek Yah's way. So, for your Sabbath lesson assignment, I want you to think about ways that you can listen to hear the voice of the Most High. Now, remember, Samuel, when he was a little boy, just like you guys, when he was a child, some of you are little boys and some are little girls, he lay down in his bed and he was quiet and still, and that's how he heard the voice of the Most High Yah. I want you to think about ways that you can listen. Have you ever heard his voice like Samuel? Do you want to hear his voice? Think about those things. And think about how glorious and awesome our Yah and his son, Yeshua, they are. They are truly awesome. Using your art supplies, I want you to draw a picture. You can use Play-Doh and make a creation. You can write a story. You can compose a song. But I want you to, whatever you choose to do, a story, a picture, a Play-Doh creation, or a song, I want you to allow your art to depict you spending time with the Most High Yah, his precious son, Yeshua, and his word. So your assignment is to use your art supplies to create a picture. You can do a Play-Doh creation. You can write a story or a song or any other form of creativity that you can think of. But you're going to create a depiction that means a representation of you spending time with the Most High Yah, his son, Yeshua, and his word. If you want, you can take a picture of your work and you can email it to us at seekyahsway@gmail.com. I have to share some pictures that we received for a past assignment. We received some beautiful pictures, so I'll have to do another video where I share some of the submissions that we receive. But we love seeing your work. We love seeing everything that you've learned. And we love sharing these Sabbath lessons with you. I want to thank you for watching and continuing to seek Yah's way. Now remember to block out worldly distractions. Remember the word. Remember to read his word and spend time in his word. Remember to pray and seek him to hear his voice. These are the 3 takeaways from our lesson today. Read your Bible, pray every day, and always seek Yah's way. Thank you to our beautiful family for joining us for this Sabbath lesson. We love you all. Shabbat Shalom, and we will see you again soon for another lesson. Bye.